guys, it's Erica from Brains to Beauty, and today I'm going to be doing a drugstore tutorial for you on Asian/hooded almond-shaped eyes. I actually got a request to do a video on hooded eyes, and I figured the easiest way to do it is through a talk-through because it's kind of hard to understand the techniques that I'm using when I just put it out there. Then you're like, okay, cool, it looks good, but what are you doing? So in this video, I'm actually going to go into great detail on the techniques that I use for my eyes to help lift them, to help open them up because of the Asian almond shape. I do have a crease. It's not in the right place, but I do have hooded eyes as well. So that is what this tutorial is going to be. I did film my entire face, but I am not including the foundation, blush, bronzer, all of that stuff because this video would be too long. And so instead, I'm going to go ahead and start off with just my eyes. If you guys want to see a full foundation routine or how I contour, highlight, all that good stuff, let me know and I can do a separate video for that. And of course, as far as the products I use for my face, I use my True Match Lumi. This is in W6 Sun Beige. For bronzing, I use my Rimmel London Natural Bronzer 022 Sun Bronze. For powder, I use my Milani 04 Light Tan Multitasker. For blush, I used e.l.f. Tickled Pink. Yes, Tickled Pink. I do have some crazy breakouts going on. I used my CoverGirl and Olay corrector to pre-conceal prior to foundation, and then I use this again as a highlight under my eyes after I applied foundation. And then as far as the eye products, I'll mention that during the actual tutorial, so you guys will see what I used. And oh, and the lips, I used my EOS lip balm. I always put on chapstick beforehand. Then I had a base of the L'Oreal Coloriche in Ferris Nude, and then I topped that off with the L'Oreal Coloriche Rose Taffeta Caress line. So that is what I'm wearing on my face. I'll also list them down below if you guys are interested in the products, but if you guys want to see how I did this eye look for hooded Asian almond-shaped eyes, please keep on watching. Okay, to start off, I want to apply an eye primer. I'm going to be using my Milani eyeshadow primer, and I'm going to apply this all over the lid. Be sure to apply it under the eye as well if you plan to put any eyeliner or eyeshadow on your lower lash line. Next, I like to take my face powder and apply this all over the lid as a powdery base to help blend out the colors later. Here I'm just using a fluffy brush and applying this all over. This is obviously a fluffy eyeshadow brush. This is a brush I actually got in an Ipsy bag a long time ago. As you can see, since I'm using my actual foundation powder or my setting powder, it really doesn't apply any color to my lid. I'm really just using it for blending later. Next, I'm going to use my bronzer that I typically use for my face, and I'm actually going to use this as a contour color for my eyes. So not only is it going to be for blending, but it's also going to provide a contour for my crease. So I'm just kind of putting it in my actual crease, not where the crease of my lid is because it's a little low. My crease is just above the fold, and so I'm putting it in my actual crease and then kind of blending it up into where my brow bone area would begin. Next, I'm going to go into Smoldering Plum, and I'm going to apply this to my crease using a crease pencil brush. This is a crown brush that I've had for quite some time, and I'm just going to lightly, very lightly, apply this to the crease area. And we will blend this out, so don't worry about how super crazy intense it is. Ooh, see, look at that. And I'm using a very light hand because I want to be very careful as to where I place this. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a really dark eye, and that's not what I'm going for. I'm really going for this very contoured cut crease look. But next I'm going to go into Liquid Diamond, and I'm going to apply this all over the lid area. And I'm using my Sigma E55 eye shading brush. This is a travel size brush, which is why it's so short. And this is one of the brushes I got for free from Sigma when I became an affiliate. So I do have a code down below, and I love this brush. They gave me 2 brushes. The other one I don't use as much. Actually, I don't use at all. I think I've used it a total of 2 times. I use this the most, and I love it. I love it so much I want to buy more of them, so that I could have a few for different colors, especially if I'm using different shades. It's really absolutely amazing, and it's wide, so you can get a good amount of eyeshadow on at one time, so you're not having to constantly go back and reapply because you get a lot of coverage. And I'm just taking the edge of my brush and kind of blending it into that crease area. And as you can see, I'm not adding any product. I'm just literally going back and forth with the tip of my brush, and I'm just blending the two together. Next, I'm going to take this e.l.f. contouring brush, and I'm going to go back into Smoldering Plum, and I'm going to apply this to the outer V. I go in a sweeping motion. I start up and sweep down. Just darken up that outer edge. And then I go back in and I tap up. Because I have such almond shaped eyes, I don't like to do the severe wing shape with my eyeshadow. I actually like to have a more curved. So instead of flicking out and then flicking in, I'm kind of C-shaping it on the outer edge to kind of give it a more rounded look. And this will open up the eyes, and I only do this because I have almond Asian eyes, and I do kind of have a hooded eye, so when I do this you can see my skin goes over my eye, and so I try to bring the color up a little higher so that when my eyes are hooded, you can still see the color. Does that make sense? So I squint down and I kind of fill the color in over that hooded part of my eye. What I'll do is I'll just kind of open my eyes really wide, bring it up, and then I'll squint it down and make sure I filled in the areas on the outside. And that's how I kind of fix that hooded eye look, so that when I have my eyes naturally open like this, you don't notice intense colors, but at the same time, you're kind of working with what you got. Taking that pencil brush from earlier, I'm going to go back in and I'm going to apply this to the lower lash line. Next, I'm going to go back in with the brush I used earlier with my bronzer, and I'm going to go back in and blend that top shade out. You want to stay on the edge. You don't want to come down too far because then you're going to remove some of the color, and you don't want to do that. You really want to just stay on the edge of the color and blend. If you have smaller eyes, you want to use a smaller brush, because what will happen is if you use too big of a brush, you'll end up bringing this dark color all the way up to your brow bone, and you might not want to do that unless you're looking for that look. But in this case, I just want to blend out the edge. And there goes the dogs, my apologies. Then for the brow, I'm actually going to go in with Endless Pearl, and I'm going to apply this to the brow bone. And I'm actually going to use the fluffy brush I had from earlier, because I'm also going to use this to blend that color that I just had. So I'm using the edge for now to put it into the actual brow bone, and then I'll actually flatten the brush out straight to my face and blend. So to apply, I always use a corner, and then to blend, I use the full brush. So it's amazing the techniques you can use with one brush, because if you just use the edge, you can get a little bit more of a precise location, and then if you use the full head, you can use it for blending. Okay, before I start putting on eyeliner and mascara, I'm going to go in and apply concealer underneath and just kind of clean up this bottom area where there is a little bit of bleeding. I am going to use my CoverGirl and Olay. This is a concealer corrector that I got a long time ago. And I like to apply this with my fingers because one, it's smoother with my fingers, and then I'll blend it out with a brush. But to put it on, I like to use my fingers. For whatever reason, I'm not exactly sure why this works, but it works. And since it is such a light shade, this actually doubles as a highlight, which is nice too. Okay, next I'm going to use my L'Oreal Infallible, I think this 16-hour wear in black. And I'm going to apply this to the lash line. I just do this mostly because I don't want any color to show through under the liquid liner. Because sometimes, you know, you try really hard to get your liquid liner as close to the lash line as possible, but then you don't, and then you have skin showing underneath and you're like, oh, fail. And I love this eyeliner because it doesn't smudge my contacts. I found it from Love Melissa Michelle. I'm so excited about it. I love it so much. And here I'm going to apply it very, very lightly to the lower lash line. Since we already have that smoldering plum, I really don't want to put too much of this black in there. I just do it to give some contrast to my eyes, because when I don't put anything down there, it makes my eyes look like they're sagging. The way my skin folds, it looks like it's pointing down, and so what I do is this lifts it up. I know a lot of people don't like to put eyeliner on their lower lash line because they think it closes off their eyes, and it technically does, but for me it helps lift my eyes because of my eye shape, so I always line my lower lash line. I mean, different techniques work for different people, and I'm one of those where if I don't wear eyeliner on the lower lash line, my eyes just look droopy and really sad. So I don't like sad, droopy eyes. Next, I'm going to go in with my Physician Formula Eyeliner Boost Pencil, and I'm going to line the upper lash line. So a recent thing that I've been doing is, if I'm not sure if I'm going to do a wing, I'll just line the line, and then I'll look at my eyes, see if I like it, see if I don't like it, and then if I feel like I want to do a wing, I'll just add a wing. So what I did up front is I just lined it normally on top of the black liner, and I think I want to wing it out. So now that that's done, I just come in with my eye open, and I add the little flick, just like that, and then I close my eye and connect the line. It makes for a really easy, soft wing. If you want to make it more intense, you can lift it up even more, bring it out some more. I'm going to leave it light. I like it light like this. I do have some errands to run, so I don't want a super intense wing, but I do have a very tiny wing. I know a lot of people have been asking, how do you do a wing? The easiest way to do it is line your eyes normally and add the wing after. If you try to add the wing before and you're not familiar with winging, you could end up with a super dark, thick winged line that you are like, ugh, I didn't want that. So it's easier to do your lash line first and then add the wing second. Here I'm just gonna curl my lashes with my Sephora lash curler. It takes me forever to do my lashes, so I won't film this whole thing. For the mascara today, I'm going to use my Telescopic Shocking Extensions. This is the Waterproof by L'Oreal. This is in Blackest Black. Okay, so that is it. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my face, and I will see you guys in a minute. Okay, so real quick, I was looking at my eyes and I noticed that my Plum had been blended out a little bit too much. So what I'm doing after I've already done my mascara is I look at my eyes, see if I like it, and I notice the Plum is a little lacking, so I'm going back and I'm touching up. I almost do this every time I do my makeup, is I'll put on all of my eye makeup, and then once I'm done with the rest of my face, I will go back and re-look to see, do I still like this shading? Do I need a little bit more? So I am just using this pencil brush, going back in. So I'm just darkening up the edge and I'm filling in the crease. Because can you tell the difference? Like, it's so much darker now than it was prior to finishing my makeup. So I really like this darker Plum. So I'm just adding a little bit more. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. If you guys want to see other looks, other products, using different palettes, please let me know. This has been a look that I've been wearing to work a lot because I've been wearing a lot of Plum. We are in Advent at church, so there's a lot of Plum about a month now we've been in Advent, so there's a lot of Plum and pinks going on, so I've been wearing a lot of purple, and so this has been a go-to look of mine, and I just absolutely love the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadows. If you guys want to see other looks using the eyeshadows, let me know. If you guys have any other requests, recommendations, please leave them down below, and of course make sure to thumbs up if you guys enjoyed this video. Oh, and of course make sure to subscribe, and that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Erica from Brains to Beauty. Hey guys, it's Erica from Brains to Beauty, and today I'm finally bringing you my Ipsy versus Birchbox. I got this a while ago. As usual, I am late. So at this point, it's like customary? At this point, this is the norm. I am just posting things whenever I have time. Life has been crazy. I actually got home at like 8:15. I didn't leave work till 7:30, so things are a little insane. I'm so behind that these are actually like the latest subscriptions I've gotten. I actually have influencers